everybody, my name is Jenna and today I'm here with my friend Emily and we
Hi.
are going to do the Halloween book tag.
Yay.
So Emily is my friend from university and she loves reading just as much as I do, which is awesome because apart from you guys here on BookTube, I don't really have an actual human person being that I can talk to about books, so I'm very glad for Emily.
We do talk mostly online though.
You don't have to say that. So yeah, so we're going to be doing the Halloween book tag. So basically there are 7 questions in this tag. However, we have added our own questions in celebration of the costumes that we're wearing.
Sure, yeah.
So Emily, you want to talk a little bit about your costume?
So I am the Queen of Hearts.
That's pretty much all there is to it, let's be
I'm
real.
the Queen of Hearts.
And I am Evie, daughter of Evil Queen from Disney's Descendants, and I think I did a pretty good job. So we're just gonna get straight on into the tag. So question number 1, carving pumpkins. What book would you carve up and light on fire? Now personally, I'm not really an advocate of destroying literature, but in these cases, I think we have good reason.
Yeah.
So you can go first. So what book have you chosen, or books have you chosen?
So I kind of chose a series and I only have the first 3 out of 13 books, but it's the last 13 series and I just felt that it was very similar to the 39 Clues series, but not as good. So I was disappointed.
I haven't read either of those series, but that's a shame because I really wanted to read the last 13 series.
I do want to find out what happens though. I've read up to like 7, I want to say.
See, that sucks when you reach a point in a series where you're like, I just want to know, but the books are terrible.
Yeah.
And the book I've chosen for this question is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Allegiant is not a good book. It's not a very good book. It's definitely a very weak ending to this series. When I first read it, I kind of really liked what happened, but as I've gotten older and as I've started reading more books, I've gone, you know what? This is not a good book. This is bad. Like, why dual points of view? Not necessary. Nothing about this book was necessary. I don't know. I don't like the idea of setting books on fire, but if I had to pick one, it would be this one.
Bad book.
Question 2, trick or treat. What character is a treat and what character is a trick? So we'll do our treat characters first.
Okay.
For my treat character, I have picked Alec Lightwood from the Mortal Instruments series. I love Alec over every adaptation of this series. He is my absolute favorite. He overcomes so much and he's so beautiful in his relationship and I love everything about him. So he is definitely a treat.
So I've got Aiden from the Covenant series and it's starting with Half-Blood and oh my god, Aiden. Do I have to say more? Just Aiden.
I also haven't read that series, so I own it now because she made me.
Yeah.
And for a trick character, I have picked Peeves the Poltergeist from the Harry Potter series. He is like the biggest trickster ever and I'm really sad that they messed him out from the films because he's fantastic and I love him.
So again with Half-Blood, I chose Seth. So there are times where he is a big trick. By the times I extremely love him, but I still call him a trick character.
Question 3, candy corn. Now fun fact, there is no candy corn in Australia, so I have no idea what candy corn actually is. Do you have an idea?
Yeah, it doesn't taste good though.
Okay, that's good to know. But apparently it's very sweet. So this question is, what book is always sweet?
I kind of chose 2 books. So I chose Let It Snow, which is a collection of 3 short stories by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle, and also the Anne and the French Kiss series by Stephanie Perkins because I just love these books so much. They're really good to read.
I also have not read any of those books. I've heard a lot of good things about the Anne and the French Kiss series, so I wouldn't mind reading it, but
It is great.
I haven't read it yet. So for my what book is always sweet, I have picked Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. This book is adorable. I love everything about this book. It's the cutest book. It's definitely the lightest book in the series. After this, everything kind of takes a bit of a downhill.
It's when they're still primary school students.
Basically, yeah.
Little kids.
Basically, yeah. They're still little kids. Voldemort only tries to kill Harry like twice in this book.
That's fine.
You know, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's not fine. Question 4, ghosts. What character would you love to visit you as a ghost? So for this question, we've gone with characters that aren't just dead characters. They can be alive at the moment as well.
So they're just visiting as apparitions.
Basically, so there are no spoilers in this question in particular. So for this question, I have chosen Bellamy from the 100 series by Cass Morgan. Morgan. Yeah, I love Bellamy so much. I've watched the show and I've read the books. I watched the show first and he's great in the show, but in the books, he is just so magnificent and adorable, and I love him so much more in the books than I do in the show. So I would want book version of Bellamy to visit me as a ghost.
I have chosen Elphaba from Wicked by Gregory Maguire. My copy is kind of dead now. It had water damage, which is sad. Although I find this book extremely weird, I love Elphaba so much, and it could also be because of the musical. She will always have a place in my heart, so I'd like her to visit. That'd be nice.
I do like Elphaba. I like the song. It's time to try defying gravity.
Do you mind?
Question 5, dressing up in costume, which I think we've done particularly well at. So, what character would you want to be for a day?
Claire, because then I get Jamie. I want Jamie.
So, funnily enough, Emily and I have actually gone the same sort of route for this question. So I know, or every one of you and Emily too, you all expected me to say Alex from the Madoran Chronicles, and yes, I would love to be Alex, it'd be great.
But you already are Alex.
I kind of am, sort of, ish, not really. But I have chosen someone different for this question for pretty much the same reason that Emily chose Claire. The character I have chosen is Feyre from the Court of Thorns and Roses series, but I picked A Court of Mist and Fury because everyone who's read it will know why. The reason I wanted to be Feyre is because Rysand. That's just, nothing more needs to be said, but Rysand. You need to read this series.
I'm like 30 pages in the first one. I started it last night.
Okay, so when she gets to this book, she'll understand why Rysand.
Okay, I look forward to another book boyfriend. Add it to the list.
Yay. Our book boyfriends lists are getting longer like every day, and it's worrying.
Yeah, it's not worrying though because I love them, but all the emotions.
Take a moment here for book lovers everywhere.
Yeah.
Question 6, witches and wizards. What is your favourite Harry Potter moment?
I would have to say Ariana's story, just because it is not in the movies, so I loved that bit of the book.
I appreciate what you're saying here, but my favourite Harry Potter moment is all of them.
Yes, very true.
I love Harry Potter, like, so much. It's ridiculous. But if I had to pick one, like, in particular, and I had to pick one that was in books, not movies, I would definitely be going with Harry and Ginny's relationship. In the books, it's done so well. In the movies, not so much. They're not great in the movies, but I do love their romance so much. So that's what I would say, but the official answer is all of them. Question 7, blood and gore. What book was so creepy that you had to take a break from it for a while? So for this one, I've actually gone with a book that I haven't finished reading yet, simply because I have taken a break from it because it is just so disturbing, and that is The Call by Peter O'Gulan. I am loving this book, I really am, but unfortunately it's so descriptive in some of the animals, and I can't, so I just have to put it down sometimes and go, this is disturbing, as if someone actually came up with this.
Yeah.
Like, it worries me. And even worse is I've been talking to the author on Twitter and I'm like, why?
I liked that book, just from the disturbing aspect, but in a way I kind of didn't feel it was dark enough. Well, the fact that they're 14.
Yeah, that's a bit odd.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your darkest books?
Well, I found Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. There was moments where I had to put it down because I was just getting creeped out by the fact that she kept dying.
What?
Yeah.
Again, I haven't read this. I don't think I've read any of the books that you've chosen.
You read Harry Potter?
I've read one of the books that she has chosen. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So yeah, but then it's also Outlander and Jamie and Randall. But with that, I didn't stop reading. I couldn't stop reading. I had to keep reading through it, even though I was crying. I just had to. And then it's also, I started reading Wicked when I was 12. Not really a good book to read when you're 12. I kind of had to put this down and didn't finish it till 2013. Just, yeah, there's scenes in this that are just no for 12-year-olds. So yeah, I kind of had 3 options there.
Yeah, when I was 12, I was reading like The Babysitter's Club. So those are the 7 questions that are on the original tag. Now we have added in 2 questions. One is for Evie, one is for Evil Queen. So the first question is Evie's question. So for Evie, daughter of Evil Queen, the question I came up with was name a character who appears rotten to the core but is actually smart and sweet. So for this question, I have gone with Dix from the Madoran Chronicles series. I nearly couldn't say that name for a second. I don't want to spoil too much, obviously, because, and that's actually why I used Dix, not the other name.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil this too much because Dix in the first book is definitely different to Dix in the second book. But basically, in the first book, Dix is definitely appears to be rotten. She's very not nice to certain people, but then towards the end of the novel, you sort of find out why. And then from the next book, she's very nice and just very sweet and very smart. That is why she would be my Evie character.
I chose Malfoy.
I was going to choose Malfoy, and then I realized that his redemption arc was not good enough, so I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, but I thought Voldemort as well, just because, not that he ever gets better, but the fact that he waits for Harry to finish school, so he kind of keeps his schooling in mind.
I'm sorry, no, Voldemort is not an Evie, not in a million
No,
years.
he's definitely not an Evie, but he's
considerate of studies.
Yes, he's considerate of studies.
Considerate of studies.
Yes, and he also does get them out of doing some exams as well.
That's very true. Second year exams, there are no second year exams.
No.
Apart from the whole, like threatening to take over the world thing and the wizarding world is in mortal peril, I think the best time to have gone to Hogwarts would have been in those years when Voldemort was trying to kill Harry, because it meant you had a whole year of peace and quiet-ish. Until the last year, then you were in trouble.
Yeah, just don't go back in the last year.
So then we have question 9, which is the Queen of Hearts question, which I will let Emily tell you because she's the one who actually came up with it.
And I'm the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts always says, off with your head. So what is your favourite literary death?
Obviously, there are going to be spoilers for this part of the video, so we will hold up the book first, and then if you have read it, you can keep watching. If you haven't read it, maybe just mute it until we put the book back down.
The Charms of Jimmy Blacksmith by Thomas Keneally. The massacres that Jimmy does, I don't know if does is the right word, but he massacres people. Although the descriptions are very descriptive, I kind of liked that. It's the same with the cool, I like the descriptiveness of the darkness side.
Okay, so fun fact, Charmed of Jimmy Blacksmith was actually one of our uni books. I didn't read it, not at all, didn't bother. I should have read it because it was one of my questions in the test, but no, I'm good. So the literary death I've chosen is in I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Law. Now, I haven't read this book in like the longest time, but I was really struggling to come up with a death, and then I remembered Henry's death in this book, and I went, oh my gosh, yes. His death is one of my favorite literary deaths because it is so necessary to the plot. Like, I really hate when people die and it's not necessary, but his death was really necessary because it sort of forced Ford to get out there and be like, yeah, so he died and everything, but now I know exactly what it is I have to do. Well, not exactly, he still struggles a lot, but he has more of an idea of what he has to do, and he sort of gets out there. But if it weren't for Henry's death, he never would have done that. So that's why Henry, while it was very sad and I am upset that he's not in the rest of these books, that's why he is my favorite literary death. So my window's open and Mum's just like talking really loudly outside. There you have it. That was our Halloween book tag. Thank you very much, Emily, for being on my channel.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course, you were kind of coming over anyway, so. And I needed a Halloween video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have read any of these books or want to answer any of the questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know where your answers are. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.
Bye.